7, and our focus was methods that they ODH can implement to promote diversity. So what we know, they provided us a lot of documents and feedback regarding their current situation and their current policies. They are having difficulties increasing diversity. There are limitations to what they want to do and what they want to achieve, such as the demographics that they provided us already. And like I said, we focus on methods to attract future employees, to increase diversity, and how to help them with recruitment. And they also provided us the DEI strategic plan, which we use in comparison to our recommendations. So our specific methods were reaching out to high schools. How can we get them interested to, maybe this is something that they could want to get into in college. Specifically charter schools or any specific schools that focus on a field, in this case, healthcare. What websites are most popular to reach out? They had a problem, I believe, recruiting nurse practitioners. So that is something that they could look at what our recommendations for and how to increase recruitment for that. And colleges and job fairs. College graduates are the next group of people to go into the workforce. So we kind of just looked at how they could reach out to people like us and get us informed about what they do and how to get us intrigued to change our plan to join them.
All right, so we're going to talk about getting high schoolers interested in a career with the Ohio State Department of Health. Just some interesting statistics here that we found in our research was that obviously high school is a very impactful time, informative for a lot of young students and people as they're trying to decide what they want to do with their lives. And they found that 75% of high schoolers actually have a career in mind while they're in high school, and 74% of those high schoolers agree that it's important to have a career designated before actually going to college. So by spending time with college students, especially within a diverse environment, we would be able to recruit more people and get them involved with the Ohio State Department of Health at a young age. And the key thing here is finding diverse high school students. So here we have a list of the top 10 most diverse high schools within the state of Ohio. These are high schools that we would reach out to personally, holding seminars, having tables set up, meeting with these high school students and showing them the value of a career with the Ohio State Department of Health, so that they may someday want to choose that as one of those career choices. So high school programs, the best way to get people involved would be to promote interest and tell students what the Ohio State Department of Health actually does, as well as emphasize the impact that they can have on their local communities. We can explain the benefits as well as retirement plans. A lot of people are looking for, some place to work that offers a lot of benefits, as well as the opportunity to actually make a difference. So by explaining to these students the difference that they can make, as well as the many opportunities available to them within the Ohio Department of Health that we could tell these students about would be the benefits of a union. This would include higher wages, better benefits, a safer workplace, the opportunity to have a voice in the workplace and an impact without fear of repercussion, as well as the opportunity to really make a difference. So in conclusion, recruiting high schoolers is going to lead to a more diverse working environment. High schoolers are interested in careers, and at this young age, they're looking for someplace to work. So by showing them the opportunities, we'd be able to secure more diverse applicants for the future.
All right, so another place that Ohio State Health could look for diversity is colleges. There are 137 colleges in Ohio, and they all offer diversity and inclusion clubs. There are 2 historically Black colleges in Ohio, and some ideas for recruitment is guest speakers for clubs. I know there's like Latin heritage groups, Black student union groups that you could speak at. We talked about in class how there's sports teams that the coaches call in people so they can kind of have that opportunity to have a one-on-one with recruiters. Let's see, we have healthcare classes is another one that we've talked about. that people have guest speakers for, so that would be a great idea for Ohio State Health to look into asking a healthcare class. And then we also have business classes as well. That's another one that we've talked about. Another thing that would be efficient for them to do is to develop connections with the universities. Having that connection, the universities could call on them to have to be a guest speaker at the colleges and in classes if teachers wanted to get another one-on-one with those with Ohio State Health. That would be a great idea. A job fair would also be a great idea, going to a job fair at the colleges. That would also tie in with developing that connection so they could ask you to come to that job fair. And then providing internship opportunities. A lot of college students don't know what they're doing, don't know what they want to do. So you providing that internship for the college students would allow for them to kind of take a step into that career or see what that career is about. So I put some of the numbers. Ohio State University is one of the biggest colleges in Ohio with 61,000 students, 61,369 students, and Central State University is a historically Black college in Ohio. You can see that the Asian students there's more Asian students in Ohio State University than there are students at our historically Black college in Ohio. So I wouldn't cancel out going to like just a regular university. Having that connection with other universities as well as those historically Black colleges is great. Right here, I put kind of how you can search for those diversity and inclusion groups. This from Ohio State University, since it is the biggest university. So you would go to current students, then click on diversity and inclusion. Once you get there, you can see that they do have contact information. So they make it very easy for you to contact them and get your company in that door. And then we also, on the top arrow, you can click on that and it shows kind of the groups that they have and the events that they are doing that other people have taken advantage of to go speak to their students.
So I would summarize like our presentation of how can the Ohio Department of Health create exposure in the communities they're trying to hire, right? So big thing nowadays is working online, right? Hiring websites like LinkedIn, Indeed, and all these other ones are a big place where you can reach out to a lot of people at the same time. Now, currently, when you do an online search for Ohio Department of Health jobs specifically, which is in itself a big ask of people to already be looking for jobs there, you can get the Ohio Department of careers page, which is typical. And then you get hits from LinkedIn and Indeed. I had a picture here. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, there it is. Apparently I have a transition. So yeah, so you can see 355 hits on LinkedIn, and then you can see 3,188 hits on Indeed. And usually it depends on the different counties or whatever. It's not specifically the Department of Health. But yeah, that's what you get, which is fine in itself. But for our purposes of hiring a more diverse workforce, we want to attract the communities that we're lacking in our workforce, right? So you might want to invest in ways that give you more exposure within the community specifically, in addition to advertising to those big pool websites. Now, I did some research, and right now, diversity.com is one of the top websites for looking for diverse applicants. This is a website dedicated in connecting inclusive workplaces with qualified candidates in all types of professions. Quote from their website, because diversity is recruiting is such a niche market, we offer closer proximity to qualified candidates, unlike big pond sites, which is like Indeed and LinkedIn. The diversity.com focuses on science, health, technology fields. It's not really like you're gonna find a job posting for McDonald's or something like that. It's more of a career-based job search website. Now, for a more broad look at it, this is, I think, what I could find the biggest organization in diverse hiring, especially in America. It's called the Professional Diversity Network. It's an organization that specializes in helping employers implement and realize DEI initiatives, and also connecting people looking for jobs with those companies that are trying to build that culture of diversity. And the big thing about Professional Diversity Network, which I think would be a big help to the ODH, is that they benefit from exclusive partnerships with leading professional and community-based organizations that offer employment opportunities to their membership, the people that have membership with the organization. And I think they have, I can't remember right now, it was like 9 different sites specifically for these different diversity groups, like women, veterans, LGBTQ plus, the Black community, Asian community, Hispanic community, and people with disabilities. So it's like a big organization that hits all those check marks, and they actually specialize in helping companies and organizations be more diverse. So if the Ohio Department of Health wants to get really serious about this diversity part, they might want to look out for professional help as someone that is a leader in that industry. Now, diversifying your reach. Alternate platforms like the Professional Diversity Network are your best bet to attract qualified and diverse talent to the Ohio Department of Health. Sites like LinkedIn and Indeed are simply too broad to help put a dent in your workplace diversity issue. And the more of a relationship you build with the industry leaders in diversity, the more attractive your organization will seem to potential candidates. So that's what we all talked about, creating that relationship with high schools, creating that relationship with colleges, and creating relationships with organizations that connect you to those applicants that you want. Now, another aspect about online recruiting is that times are changing. The main jobs search websites are losing popularity. Platforms like Facebook and Instagram have recently been taking more and more real estate in the job search space. According to JobVite, only 77% of recruiters would use LinkedIn in 2018 as compared to 92% in 2017. So if that's the trend from 2017 to 2018, imagine what it is now. And other channels such as Facebook and Instagram are gaining popularity in recruitment, especially in the technology hiring space or the art industry, because people just post their stuff on Instagram and then they can expose themselves to potential employers. Expanding your reach to social media might be a good way to reach the up and coming workforce. So the new generations coming up aren't really as inclined to use traditional websites than past generations. So yeah, that concludes our presentations. Here are references. And
Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah.
That was some good information, guys. Some of those additional sites you had, like diversity.com and the diversity network, were you able to find any information on, for example, how much it costs to post a listing on there? Or whether they have a free listing option or anything like that? That might be something that might be good to include if you have that info.
yeah, I'm not really sure how much it costs, but I can do that research and we'll include it.
I think that would be helpful when, because if we're recommending they may want to know, well, do we have the budget to post in these places? Like, obviously, they post everything on careers.ohio.gov because they can do it for free. And you can often post something on LinkedIn or Indeed, not promoted, and it's not very expensive, right? So I think it would be helpful if we could provide a little info on, what is it going to cost them to use these sites, which may be more effective, and it might be worth it to spend a little bit more if it costs more, but they may just want to know, what are we talking about? Is that something that would be in our budget, or are we too limited to really take advantage of those resources? All right, I think you guys got some good information about the different high schools and the colleges and programs like that. And I saw that you had found, some contact info. So definitely from maybe Ohio State and the HBCUs, or the best candidates you think as far as the colleges and universities that they need to connect with. If we can provide that contact info in a table in that document that we ultimately give them, I think that's really helpful. All right, good job, guys.
Thank you.